Hello, everyone, and welcome to MHS Sports on MHTV. I'm Chris Connolly, along with Gordon Vincent, and today we're at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough as the 11-0 number 1 seed Marblehead Magicians football team takes on the 8-3 number 3 seed North Attleboro Red Rocketeers in the MIAA Division III State Football Championship. The contest today is brought to you by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association. The association is responsible for governing, coordinating, and promoting educational athletics and aims to provide student athletes with the best high school experience possible. The MIAA stresses the values of interscholastic athletics, from discipline and commitment to sportsmanship and teamwork. Visit the MIAA website today at miaa.net and explore all they have to offer. Well, today's game, Gordon, at Gillette Stadium, and a place we're all very familiar with. Right now, the coin toss is going on out there for Marblehead and the Rocketeers. It's an interesting matchup.
It is. Marblehead comes in probably as the favorite here with their undefeated record after a thrilling win over Swampscott on Thanksgiving Day. North Attleboro comes in, as you said, with 3 losses, Chris, but in their last 4 or 5 games, they've been averaging more than 40 points a game. So they put up 62 in a quarterfinal win over Milton a couple of weeks ago. So this team can score.
North Attleboro has won the toss, and we'll see what happens here. They defer to the second half, so Marblehead will get the ball to start the game. Yeah, it's and it's mostly been on the running of former quarterback Tyler DiMatteo,
yeah,
who ran for in the last 3 games. He's got 143 yards, 152, and 170 yards, 174 yards, and that's pretty good for the playoffs.
Yeah, and he scored all 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing and 1 receiving in their 28-10 win over Billerica in the semifinals. They did make a switch, and we were talking about this. DiMatteo started the season as their quarterback. And about 3 or 4 games in, they switched to a freshman named Chase Frizzoli, number 5, who's the quarterback. You're going to be seeing a lot of him tonight, but they do rely a lot on DiMatteo for their rushing game. And as I said, this is a team that has a very prolific offense, and they can put up some points.
On the other hand, Marblehead has not given up a 100-yard running attack, 100-yard runner this year.
And they faced some pretty good runners, including Bascon in the last game for Swampscott. And their defense has been really, we talk a lot about their offense and how prolific Marblehead's offense is, but their defense, especially over the last 3 or 4 games, has been terrific.
Outstanding.
Once the playoffs started, they just, 7 points. I know Swampscott put up 28 against them, but this is a good defense. It's a great venue too, isn't it?
It's fun. It's actually a lot of fun for the kids, and you see a good crowd from both communities.
Yep.
North Attleboro is about 5 miles south of Foxborough, Gillette Stadium here in Foxborough, and it's a community of about 30,000, 29 plus or something like that.
So a little bigger than Marblehead.
A little bit bigger than Marblehead, but other than that, I mean, Division III is Division III, and. They've had a good, they play in the Hawkmark League, which includes Foxborough, Mansfield, Sharon, Oliver Ames, and a few others.
Oh, I know Mansfield has a terrific program for the last few years. They were the team that had the longest winning streak before, I think maybe North Attleboro beat them, and then Marblehead now has the longest winning streak, which I think is 19.
It's been
going on so long, I'm losing count.
If you go back to the October 27th of 2019,
wow,
it's 22 straight games.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and it's just been an incredible run of great performances for the Magicians, and they've had. It's amazing how each and every year they seem to come up with some really stellar athletes and good performances, and it's all backed by really good coaching, and.
Well, they've emerged as Marblehead has emerged as the preeminent program on the North Shore, this is probably you can make an argument. Springfield Central is playing in the Division I game later tonight. That the winner of this game is going to be the best public school team in the state.
Mm-hmm. Marblehead's making its 3rd Super Bowl appearance under Coach Jim Rudloff. They lost in 2009 to Fian, and they lost in 2016 to Falmouth. This year, however, Marblehead has outscored its opponents 381 to 123, averaging 34 points per game. And Josh Robertson, a quarterback, has 2,287 passing yards and a school record 28 touchdown passes. Connor Cronin, as Marblehead's being introduced right now.
Let's enjoy this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for these kids.
Get to walk down to the 40-yard line. Connor Cronin with 61 receptions for 786 yards and 8 scores. James Duty, he's also a go-to receiver. He has 616 yards with 7 touchdowns. And George Percy, despite having been out, is leading the team on the ground with 585 yards. 7 touchdowns. Now the national anthem.
As we play the national anthem, today to be performed by the North Attleboro High School Marching Band.
Nice performance by the Rocketeers marching band from North Attleboro High School.
Yeah, I think there are more people from Marblehead than there are from North Attleboro, which is pretty impressive because, as you mentioned about the proximity to I mean, it's literally right down Route 95, Route 1 here.
Yeah, it's 5 miles away.
There's 2 full sections of Marblehead's fans, and then portions of 2 others. A lot of people have been, talking to a lot of people around town, and they're really looking forward to this game, and they're excited for Marblehead, for the entire town. It's really brought a lot of people together. That's what this team has done. They've just been just almost perfect the whole year long, and it's really great to see them in this venue and being rewarded for what has been probably, if they win today, there's no question that this is the greatest season in the history of Marblehead football.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Coach Rudloff has, with his record-setting pace of victories, and he's the winningest coach in Marblehead High School history. It's
really been a remarkable run for Jim and his staff. They've just, they're just have had a terrific time. It's been 10 or 12 years now. As you said, he's the winningest coach in the history of the program. He's had some great teams. He's had some great athletes, but he's also a great coach, and we should appreciate that.
What's extra special about it is that he puts together a really good group of coaches to help him.
Mm-hmm.
His coaching staff has always been extra good, and they've been doing it again this year.
Mike Giardi in particular is the offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator, no doubt. So we're getting set for the kickoff, and looks like it's going to be number 6, and that's Tyler DiMatteo. And the kick is going to, looks like now Cronin takes it at about the 12-yard line, evades a tackle, stays on his feet, moves forward, gets up across the 30 to about the 35-yard line, and that's where the Magicians will take over 1st and 10. Good field position, Gordon, and a nice run back.
Yeah, a typical Connor Cronin run, always leaning forward, always moving forward, low to the ground. Here's the kickoff. Fields it at about the 12-yard line. And, of course, here's the first contact, and after that, a typical Cronin run, as we said.
3 or 4 guys before he goes down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. First play from scrimmage of this Division III Super Bowl. It's given to George Percy. Breaks a tackle, falls forward, picks up about 2.
Yeah, there's a nice-sized hole there. The defensive tackle, this hulking defensive tackle, number 72 here, Jared Vosher, is, as we said, we've been saying all season, it seems like the other team is always bigger, but Marblehead is faster usually.
Robertson gives it to Cronin on the outside, breaks a tackle, falls forward, first down. Gain of about 10 on the play.
Yeah, nice job out there by the two offensive linemen. Andriano especially getting out there and providing some interference. There's a little swing pass to the right side. Here are the two linemen you see holding their blocks, and Cronin again falling forward.
And making the right cut on the blocks.
Yep.
Keogh comes to the middle and then goes back to the sideline. There's a quick pass to the sideline. It's complete. Cronin refuses to get pushed backwards. The tackle was made by number 18, Joey Cariello.
We have these helpful pronunciation guides for the other team. We're in the big time now, Chris.
Yeah, I know. There's even heat. Well, we have heat.
We do have heat at Marblehead High. Sometimes too much.
Yeah. Second down, 8 from the 49-yard line. Cronin in motion. Play action fake. Robertson keeps it. Cuts across the 45, down across the North Attleboro 40 to about the 38-yard line. Good decision by the quarterback.
Well, this is a play that we see them run 3 or 4 times a game. It's just an option to the left-hand side, and it depends upon the quarterback making the decision whether to pitch the ball or turn it up the field. You see here he fakes to Percy, makes the defensive end commit, and then turns it up the field.
First and 10 from the 39-yard line. Pass it down, complete. What a catch by Cronin.
Oh,
came
my.
Right underneath the defender.
Did he catch that?
Yes,
oh, my
he
goodness. Did. Great coverage. Great throw, too. Now let's watch this. I want to see this catch. All right.
Now he was shielded by the guy, number 10, and goes right underneath him and kept his eye on the ball.
And it's terrific defense.
So it's first and 10 at about the 14. Percy gets the call, stays on his feet, chugging forward, down to about the 5.
Chugging is that's the verb you want to use right there. And Marblehead just blasting open holes here.
Down to the 5-yard line.
Here's the pitch, and excuse me, there's Percy, again, not going down on the first contact, getting Marblehead a manageable second down here.
Second down, 2 from the 5. Percy gets the call again, head down, pushing forward. I think he might have a first down.
Yeah, it
looks
looks
like
like
spotted.
I'm looking at the official on the far side. It looks like they're just short.
Yeah. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Robertson. They stand up and look to the sideline for their signals. Now here they come. Hand signals and cards. 2 receivers to the near side. 2 receivers to the far side. Percy in the backfield with Robertson. Quick pass, slant over the middle. Is it intercepted? No! Duty took it away.
Nope,
it's said to be incomplete.
Incomplete, yep. It looked like, I think your initial call was the defensive back had a better chance at catching it. It's a little, no, it's a good throw, but again, good coverage. Probably just as well it was incomplete because it's 4th and
I think Duty pulled it out of his hands.
I think he might have.
Because he had it on the way down. Duty comes, I don't know, that's pretty darn close.
I know.
It must have gone onto the carpet.
No challenge flags here.
4th down and a little bit more than a foot. Pass to the end zone and no flag. So it'll be a turnover on downs after a great opening series.
So good defense here. Yeah, really good coverage right there. I don't think a flag was warranted there, Chris.
Nope. So North Attleboro takes over 1st and 10, and they were inside the 5, but now they're almost on the 5.
I gained a half a yard. Nice.
Well, they like to put it on the stripes.
And we're working without hash marks today, so
we'll call it the 4 because it's just inside the 5. And this is that diamond backfield formation. Handoff comes Mateo. Mateo pushing forward, hard to bring down.
Yep. Big, strong, muscular kid behind an enormous offensive line.
Up to the 16-yard line, a gain of 12.
Yeah, just a basic play, a good hole right there. and he just bowls over Michalowski.
Lots of times when you're facing someone that's really good, has good blocking with
Right,
them,
with
it
momentum
takes a while
too.
to get used to them.
Yep.
And seen it happen. Opening series, opening drives work really well often, and then not so much the rest of the game. First and 10 to the outside. That's going to be short of a first down. The ball carrier that time was number 28. 25, Tyler Bannon. Gets a pick above 8 at the 22-yard line.
This time they run to the right, and it's off the edge. Nice job by
Four
North
black
Attleboro.
jerseys right on.
Yeah, yeah,
but
but
they
6
got a
yards
swarm
down the field.
Yeah. Off tackle, breaking holes and getting through. Squirting out for the first down is DiMatteo.
Yeah, I think this is what we're going to see a lot of today is Tyler DiMatteo.
On the 31-yard line. Gain of 9 and a first down. First and 10. From the 31, first and 10. Bannon again, I think.
Yeah, that was, we don't have a 26. Oh, it was a 25? Bannon, yeah. Not even a thought about passing. This is just line it up and run it here.
Gain of 2, second down 8. Just shy of the 34-yard line. Comes the first little wrinkle in the offense.
Yep, a little motion.
And
nice job by Fitzgerald there.
good anticipation by number 77 for Marblehead. That's Mr. Ned Fitzgerald.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been constant all year long. Here he is. You'll see him right in the middle. Fights off his block. He's getting held a little bit too.
25 looked like he was a little slow to get up, or would be a little slow to get up. Third down and 8.
It's first opportunity to see what they look like in a passing down with one wide receiver here.
Gavin Wells goes to the far side for North Attleboro. Looking to pass. Frizzoli escapes. And he runs into a wall.
I think the ball's out too.
Marblehead says they have it, and so do the official. No, that's
No, I
not
haven't
an
seen. I haven't seen a striped shirt yet say anything.
I saw an arm. They say no. I'm not surprised it was George Percy.
That's when its momentum stopped. Here it is. So flushed out of the pocket, rolling right.
Good escapability right there.
Yeah, and he's got some blocking
Number
up here.
one is gonna
And
beat
Percy
him.
just tattoos him. Did the ball come out? I can't see the ball out, but
It was on the turf, and they said no.
they blow it dead.
Fourth down, punting situation. Back deep should be James Galante.
Yeah, there's absolutely no wind here today. The conditions are perfect. Oh, little shank.
Eesh.
That's well, it's not going to be returned. Yeah, he just hit it off the side of his foot.
Was that D'Amato?
I didn't see where the
DiMatteo?
punter was. Yeah, he just shanks it right off the side of the foot.
Maybe 26.
So extremely good field position for Marblehead here at the 45.
First and 10 for Marblehead at the North Attleboro 45.
Little razzle dazzle.
Here goes Cronin, shakes a tackle. Even when he's hardly moving, he can evade somebody.
Yeah, that should have been no gain, but the skill of Connor Cronin turned it into a 7-yard gain. Snaps a little high, which throws off the timing of the play a little bit. A little misdirection, and there you see Cronin break the tackle.
Pickup of about 6 on the play. Cronin Following blocks, diving forward. I think he has a first down.
He might be a little bit short. I'm looking at the official on the far side. Yeah, it's going to be a 3rd and 1, Chris.
Okay.
But nice job to even get a couple out of that.
At the 36-yard line.
There he is.
2 receivers to the far side, now 2 to the near side, including Cronin. Robertson firing. Cronin gets it. Turns upfield, picks up a few more yards. He knew he wasn't going to get a lot more, but he got as much as he could.
And that's the other thing that Connor Cronin gives you is a pair of sure hands in the passing game. It's just a little curl. You see him in the slot position. Just a quick, safe throw.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Robertson stays on his feet, gets across the 30 down to about the 26, maybe a gain of a yard or 2.
Yeah, that play was that option was read much better by the defensive end of North Attleboro this time. You see it turns it inside where he's got a lot of help. He being number 72, Vasher.
Cronin had the defender bounce off of him. He just spun away from him. That wasn't just, it was something that Cronin did that caused the defender to miss him. And it was spinning away.
Yeah, that's right. Your description was apt. He did just bounce off him. It's a little screen pass inside, little bubble screen. Good block there by Duty. Cronin breaks the first tackle and picks up another first down.
1st and 10 at the, looks like about the 12. Percy rumbling and rolling to about the 3-yard, 4-yard line, something like that.
It's got to hurt tackling him. It's not a pleasant experience, especially when he gets ahead of steam like this. Here he is. It's just between the off left tackle.
And they spot it inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. 2nd down and about a yard. 4 for a touchdown. Oh, a high snap. Robertson does the best thing he can do, is catch it and fall on it.
Yeah, it's a smart play. Don't try and make something out of it and end up making it worse.
Loss of 9, or loss of 8. And they're at the 12.
Yeah, a lot of inexperienced quarterbacks will try and run around and make something happen and make it end up being worse and even worse loss.
Yeah, you can't make up for it on that play. You have to make up for it later on.
You've got 2 downs to make up for it here too. So
3 receivers now to the near side. Robertson over the middle, and that one was caught by Percy, but well short.
Yeah, it was a screen pass that was read pretty well by North Attleboro. There's a lot of traffic in the middle.
Feingold on the field.
Yep. We're going to try a field goal here.
Yep.
Eli Feingold, the hero of Thanksgiving.
As I said, once he gets to his age of majority, as they say. Oh, 5-yard penalty here.
Well, so now it's 4th and 4, and they're sending the offense back on the field. It's a quick decision to send the offense back on the field.
So it'll be 4th down and 4. And they have to get to about the 3, maybe the 2. Percy to the far side. Now he's called back to the backfield. Kehoe split to the far side. 3 receivers near. Marblehead takes a timeout.
Maybe.
Oh, the end of the first quarter. Sorry. There are
we do have 12-minute quarters.
quarters.
There was a rumor there were 10-minute quarters, but we're playing.
Well, a lot of running.
Yes.
A lot of running. Marblehead's, I think was there only one pass by
North Attleboro?
There were 2 attempts, but only 1 pass.
It was that one scramble that they brought down.
John's looking at me like as if I'm supposed to say something, and as always,
he's right.
He's right. It's the end of the first quarter, and here's a message from the MIAA. A well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic athletics provide the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year. After a quarter, no score. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
And welcome to the second quarter. No score, but Marblehead has threatened once, and they're doing it again right now. They stopped North Attleboro's first drive after some success, but not a whole lot of yardage. And they have a 4th down and 4 from the 7-yard line. They were going to kick a field goal from about 5 yards further out than that, from about the 12, but a offsides penalty moved it up 5 yards, and they changed their mind. Now they've got Percy to the left of Robertson. Kehoe split to the near sideline. Now they look over to the side for a play call, and 3 receivers to the far side. Quick look, there's the pass to the corner to Cronin. Cronin's got it, touchdown.
So Cronin lines up in the slot. There are 3 receivers on the right-hand side. He does a straight diagonal route toward the corner flag, toward the back corner flag. Robertson lofts up the ball. You can see him at the top. He's got a step since he cuts under the other 2 Marblehead receivers, and the sure hands are right there. Perfect throw, perfect catch, perfect play call.
They dropped it in the bucket, as they say. And now Feingold does get a chance to get into the action as he'll go out of the hold of James Duty. The kick is up. The kick is good. So Feingold adds the extra point with 11:55 to go before halftime. First play of the second half is a 7-yard touchdown pass from Josh Robertson to Connor Cronin. And as Gordon described, just a perfectly executed play, a good play call, and Robertson dropped it right into his receiver's arms. Feingold kick is good. It's 7-0 Marblehead.
See, there you see Cronin, the 3 wide receiver. He's the one closest to the line, to the right tackle.
And the defender had to make up some space, and that put him out of position.
Well, and the fact that Cronin went outside and the other 2 receivers went up and inside gave just enough, disrupted the coverage just enough.
A step.
So Cronin can get open. Robertson, of course, throws a great ball right in the corner flag. Well-designed play, well-run play. And the gamble on 4th down pays off.
Yeah.
Much better start to this one than the last time we were here, isn't it?
I thought we were at like a tractor pull the last time. It was like a steamroller convention.
Well, it was, yeah. That Falmouth team was something else.
3 linemen that were just tall
huge.
and over 300 pounds
and
each.
athletic.
They were athletic. And these guys, they weren't blobs. They were enormous people. And they just pushed Marblehead out of the way. Taken at the 10-yard line, comes to the near side, and slowed up and dropped at about the 25-yard line, pushed back a ways. The return was made by Nathan Schultz.
We don't have a pronunciation guide for that one. It's funny because some of their number 54 is Danny Locke, and the pronunciation guide says Danny Locke.
The 25-yard line.
But
1st and 10 for the Rocketeers.
It's helpful.
At least the program isn't in alphabetical.
I heard you had some problems last week.
A big hole for DiMatteo, and he picks up about 8.
It's a big bruising back, isn't he? I mean, he's not tall in Division I college, but he's solid and he's low to the ground and he fights off tackles.
And looking at the replay on the Patriots,
the big board.
the big board, it was a shot straight down the field,
Right.
and you could see the hole. Was great blocking for him. So a pickup of 8 on the play. And you can see how these guys can, you know, one missed tackle in the defensive backfield, and these guys are gone.
Well, and you can see how North Attleboro is firing off the ball too. They're cognizant of getting out there and getting some bodies on the 2 linebackers, especially the 2 inside linebackers.
So Marblehead goes with 3 down linemen and linebackers, and that's to get to plug the hole.
Yeah.
Percy. Whoa, Percy held him up, and
Michalowski
finished him off.
But there's not even a pretense of a passing game, is there? They're not even splitting anybody out. It's just everybody lines up and let's run it. And there's Michalowski finishing off. Good job by Percy holding on till help arrived.
An interesting part of that replay that we just saw was that those tackles were made right at the line of scrimmage. And there were the cornerbacks and the safeties and the linebackers were all right on top of the guy. So 2nd down and 9 from the 40. Play action fake. Looking down the field. Wasn't open. Throws it anyway. And it looked like he was trying to outrun the coverage, but he couldn't do it.
And good coverage here. North Attleboro fans are looking for a hold or an interference penalty, but it's pretty good coverage. Both Michalowski and Galante there.
Pass was intended for Joey Pariello. This freshman's got a good arm, this
He does,
quarterback.
and he's a big kid too for a freshman.
Solely, yeah.
Yeah.
3rd down, 9. Now they're in a split formation. 2 receivers to the far side. Handoff is play action
Screen
fake.
pass.
Now a screen to the middle.
A lot of room.
Yep, a lot of room. 1st down and a little bit more. Cronin made the tackle.
Well executed screen pass by North Attleboro here. This is how you do it. You let the lineman come in.
Rizzoli's pass to Joey Pariello.
It's just an easy throw here. You see the three linemen from Marblehead are allowed to come in. And then you just drop it in there and with the offensive lineman out in front of you.
1st and 10 at the Marblehead 46-yard line. 9:23 to go. 2nd quarter. Play action fake, a quick pass to the flat. Nice tackle by Palmer. Wasn't going to be beat by number 27, Aiden Conrad.
Yeah, Palmer's been there all year. It is a 1st down, but it could have been a lot more without Palmer there because he doesn't have a lot of help.
The Rocketeers have it 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line, trailing it now to Marblehead 7 points. Straight up the middle, and Fitzgerald is there to meet him, but he keeps pushing forward, and finally the whistles stop the action, but
on 5 yards.
Close to 5 yards, and he did most of that by pushing his way. I mean, he was...
Had his steam right there. Yeah, Fitzgerald meets him just a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Gets a little help there. I seem to see these scrums a lot more now before they blow the whistle. Yeah, 74 is just pushing him.
That helped a lot. A gain of 4 on the play. They're at the 31-yard line. Play action fake, looking to the flat again. That's wide open. And moving it down to the 15-yard line. Was that number 44?
26 again.
26.
Yeah. Bannon again. Yeah, he's unaccounted for in the flat, as you said, Chris. There's some nice bobbing and weaving there to get it down inside the 20-yard line.
At the 16. A gain of 15 yards on the play. Good reaction by the coaching staff to come up with these plays
Right.
that are putting men in wide open positions. Nice play by Palmer again, as he single-handedly brought down DiMatteo.
DiMatteo, much bigger player.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a toss to the right side. They've really been staying a lot between the tackles when they run. This is a little bit too strung out for them. If North Attleboro is going to do this, I would prefer to run the ball. I would prefer to see them just go between the tackles like they've been doing. There seems to be some yardage there, and the short passes have been working now too, as we've seen. As you said, nice job nice job at adjusting to Marblehead's defense.
Don Johnson, the coach of.
Not that one though.
No. Not the one with the pastel T-shirts.
No.
And the big, wide, baggy white linen pants.
They gave him a first down here.
Mikulowski on the tackle at the 5-yard line. A first and goal for the Red Rocketeers. Zoli back to the huddle.
They're going to come out in that odd 3-back set.
It's like a diamond formation.
With no wide receivers.
High snap and a touchdown. Tyler DiMatteo. 5-yard touchdown run with at 6:06 of the second quarter.
Yeah, this is just another run right up the middle. Like we said, their strength is running between the tackles. Nice job by the quarterback fielding the high snap. And DiMatteo, 3 or 4 yards down the field. He's almost in the end zone before he's touched.
Great blocking on the front line of
this team blocks really well. They got a big line.
Yep. Yeah. Now DiMatteo, Mr. Do-It-All, is going to do the kicking for the extra point out of the hold of Gavin Wells, number 10. Kick is right through the uprights. And it's 7-7 at 6:06 to go in the first half. And North Attleboro has answered after Marblehead.
Save, thank you.
Marblehead scored on their last possession.
So the game's played out kind of the way we thought it would. A lot of running and short passing by North Andover. Marblehead's dynamic offense. You wonder if they're going to regret not cashing in, not getting points on that first drive when they moved the ball right down the field and got to the. They had 2 shots from what, about the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 from about the 5-yard line.
Yep. Yeah, that's, well, it depends on the outcome.
Yeah, if they win, you forget about it. You don't have to worry about it. If they lose, yeah, well, they should have scored.
So DiMatteo really is Mr. Everything for
kickoffs, extra points.
Yeah. Former quarterback and lead running back.
Well, you can't tee up the ball, though.
You can't do everything, Gordon.
He's got to work on that.
Yeah. So the running attack here has really eaten up the clock. 6:06 to go here in the second quarter.
Moving along.
DiMatteo steps into it. Kicks it to Percy. Percy takes it at about the 7. Comes up the sideline, has a hole, cuts to the sideline, has a big return here, cuts to the middle of the field. He's going to get dropped at about the 41-yard line. Making the tackle for North Andover was Jack Munley.
Yeah, that's a good return right here, good field position again. It's kind of a low line drive kick. And you see Percy gathers it. And he's got some room, good hole right there. Makes a guy miss. And makes another guy miss.
Good heads-up move there to move to the inside.
Yes.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Percy again cuts inside of his blocking. Perfect move by the blockers are pushing the defenders to the outside, and right off their tails, Percy cuts inside, and it gives him a 10-yard gain and a first down.
No huddle now, yep. And
a 14-yard gain.
And watch it. You'll watch him turn it up right at the precise moment. Good block by Fitzgerald there. Even Robertson getting in on the blocking down the field.
Two back set, high snap gives to Cronin. Cronin has nowhere to go. Things got a little bit off.
Yeah, the
didn't work out right with the bad snap.
timing was a little bit disrupted.
So no gain on the play. Second down, 10 at the North Andover 45-yard line. And, you know, we didn't talk about it before the game, but today's weather for this time of year.
For December, early December.
It's terrific. Looking to throw, fakes to the right, then goes long, down the sideline, has a man, and it's overthrown, intended for duty. And
really good coverage.
Yeah, very good coverage. With him all the way, I'm sure they were ready for number 30 streaking. He's done it a lot.
Yeah, they know who the primary receiver is. They know who Robertson likes to go to, and it's really good coverage. And I don't think even if Duty can catch that, he stays in bounds.
Both the receiver and the defender have a right to go for the ball. So there might have been a little bit of contact, but it seemed incidental to me.
No, that's not a penalty.
Third and long. And swarmed under is Robertson on the sack.
And Kaysen Wise, number 65, and Jared Vasher, number 72. They're the ones who break through here. They bring only 4.
And they just got in there and took him down quickly.
Vasher gets very excited. Not Vasher.
Out to the 47-yard line, back into Marblehead territory across midfield. Punting situation. Good punt, taken at about the 17-yard line. Coming to the sidelines, shaking a tackle. That's the hallmark of these North Andover runners, is they don't get brought down on the first contact. Nice return.
Yeah, again, a little bit of a line drive kick, and it allows the runner some time to sort of pick out where he wants to go. Comes to the right-hand side.
Nate
McElroy. I get bumped a little bit there. So you sense a little swing of momentum here, Chris?
It seems that way.
Yeah.
That's part of the excitement of football.
Adjustments and momentum, and
because things can change, momentum can change so quickly.
One turnover, one broken tackle. Yeah,
the ball
DiMatteo, and another nice move right here. You see him. He just shuffles to his left a little bit, makes Fitzgerald miss, and instead of a 1 or 2 yard gain, it's a 6 yard gain.
And then when he's in the middle there with all the players around him, he keeps his feet moving, so he's never in one position too long. Second down and about 4, maybe 5. And that's close to a first down, depending on the spot. I think they'll be a little bit short. Ball carried by 25, and that's Bannon again.
You know, we've talked through the season where you look at a quarterback and you don't think he's going to be able to beat you with a long throw down the field. We've said that about some other teams. This looks like the case with North Attleboro, but their line is just so dominant right now that I don't think you have to. I don't think. Why would you pass right now?
Might not have to pass.
Yeah.
Third down and 1. DiMatteo gets the call, escapes, and has a first down as he gets across. He doesn't get quite to the 45-yard line, but he didn't need to.
No, Percy had a shot, but didn't really have a good angle for the tackle. Here's the snap. And yeah, so you see Percy has kind of a shot right there. I think he might have fallen forward to the first down anyway, but.
Pickup of 3 yards at the 44-yard line, enough for a first down. It's still in North Attleboro territory. Play action. Under pressure, the quarterback gets knocked down, but gets the pass completed for a first down to the Marblehead 40.
Yeah, here's a blitz with Percy, and the quarterback does a nice job of hanging in the pocket and getting rid of the ball just before Percy crushes him.
Is it Munley, 84? Yeah. Jack Munley makes the catch. He's a junior. And it's down to the Marblehead 40-yard line. 16-yard gain, and you had to give it to Frisoli for the quarterback.
Hanging in
He
there, yeah.
hung right in there, got the pass off, and got hit the next second.
Yeah, he knew he was going to get popped.
Looking to throw, going deep down the sideline, has a man open, and completed. Ball caught by Schultz.
What did I just say about them not beating the Marblehead down the field? This is just a blown coverage. There's a mix-up in the secondary, and they don't cover the receiver. You see him coming in motion to the left, and he just runs down the sideline. It's not a great throw.
Galante catches up to him and drops him at about the 7-yard line. First and goal for the Red Rocketeers, looking to go ahead. High snap, but handoff is given to is it Bannon, I think? He gets knocked around a bit before being brought to the turf.
Yeah, he still got 3 or 4 yards, though.
They mark it at the 4, a gain of 3. Second down and goal from the 4-yard line, let's say.
Yeah, this is a play that's supposed to go left. And again, the running back, is that Schultz again? Oh, Bannon.
It was 26, I believe.
Yeah, nice job of getting a couple yards with her. There's DiMatteo again.
DiMatteo has a touchdown. A 4-yard touchdown. With great blocking in front of him.
So the 2 big plays were the 2 passing plays after I presciently said that they can't throw the ball.
Well, you know, I think partly what it is that they haven't had to throw the ball a lot, but they certainly can, and as we've seen. But Marblehead's defense hasn't reacted well to the passing plays.
Well, they're starting to come up because you have to respect the run because his team runs the ball so well. The closer the secondary gets to the line of scrimmage, those players are going to open up and they're going to develop, and you're going to be able to take advantage of that.
High snap, but handled well. The kick is straight and true and good with
42 seconds left.
42 seconds to go in the first half.
Half is just blazing
North
by.
Attleboro leads it 14-7 over Marblehead.
So this is about the same amount of time we had last Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think was it a minute and something?
I think it was under a minute when Swampscott scored. It was funny. I was watching the game at home. I was watching the Swampscott feed on YouTube, and I said, you know, they have just enough time maybe to drive this ball down and get in position for a touchdown or a field goal, and a couple of big plays later, and
yeah,
they still have 3 timeouts. So
yeah, but 2.7 on the clock. Oh, I mean today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep up with me, will you?
It's
I'm moving all over the place. Thanksgiving today.
When you're moving when your thought processes are moving at the speed of light, it's difficult for mere mortals. First down coming soon. 42 seconds to go in the first half. The kick is right down the middle, taken by Cronin at about the 6. Cronin has a big hole in the middle of the field. It closes up. He dives forward. He's brought down at about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, for a minute there, it looked like he had a gigantic hole in it. Just all of a sudden,
it closed.
I saw red and white come in and he shut it down. Here it is. Again, a deep kickoff, not a high kickoff, but there you see.
So he's clearly at the 26. Look, they spotted it where the nose of the ball is almost touching the 25. It just proves that the officials are humans. We've had enough of that.
Who do we see for redress here?
Nobody. No one. Percy slips out to the far side. Now Cronin goes that direction. Cronin gets the call. No, Robertson keeps it. Stays on his feet, moves forward to about the 34-yard line.
So this has been there for it. Robertson's really been one of their better runners in this half. You have to be so concerned with Percy and Cronin. You can't account for everybody. It's just a quarterback keeper here. It's a run. It's a version of the run pass option. I think he's had about 4 runs, and he's had about 30 yards or so.
Yeah, let's see.
We're going to get halftime stats, Chris.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
Don't worry
We're in the big room here.
This is amazing. We're not used to this.
I know.
But we could get used to this.
I could get used to this really easily.
I could get used to it. 14-7, 29 seconds to go, first half. The number 1 seed in Division I trailing the number 3 seed. Is that correct? Yeah, 3
Sounds
seed.
right.
Yeah.
They're on that side.
And
On that
as
side of the
advertised,
bracket.
they've got a great running attack
Yep.
over there at the at North Andover. North Andover. You said that earlier. And
Did I
was
say
thinking-
North Andover?
Yeah, you did. And I was thinking about it.
At least I didn't say North Adams.
Well, once you said it, I thought, oh no, I'm going to say it.
And you did.
I did.
It's my fault.
North Attleboro. Well,
North
I'm
Attleboro.
trying to get myself out of this.
Well, they're the same color as North Andover. They're red, black, and white. If you're going to do this to
Robertson
me.
looking to throw, and he gets sacked.
This is a rush off the right-hand side. This is 36, Chamberlain Guthrie coming off the right tackle. Marblehead calling another timeout here.
Was there a little extracurricular at the end of this play?
I don't know. It's 35, not 36.
Yes, he gave him a shot in the back.
Where was the?
The
Oh, there was a little
and it was
extracurricular.
right in front of the official.
Wow.
And I thought for sure they might pick up a penalty there, but
Writing it off to youthful exuberance.
maybe.
So that was 35. That was Caden Leary.
He was it didn't look like it was he was meaning to,
There was
elbow
malice
him
behind
in
it.
the back. No, it looked like he was celebrating, but he was just doing it too close to Robertson, and he hit him in the back. "17 seconds to go here in the first half.
And let's remember that I almost did it again. North Andover. North Attleboro gets the ball to start the second half.
4 receivers in the formation, and Percy is next to Robertson in the backfield. Motion coming this way. It's Cronin. Robertson, good protection, steps up in the pocket, fires it long and deep. He's looking for Cronin. Cronin has it, stays on his feet, heads to the 10, the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown.
What a big play. A lot of this is Connor Cronin and Josh Robertson. This is just a fly pattern down the hash marks. Good coverage by North Attleboro, but Cronin's makes a better play here.
Good protection.
Really good protection here, Chris.
Steps up and fires it long.
Again, good coverage, double coverage, but Cronin here, now he's going to make a move, and he gets in the end zone. Oh, tremendous turn of events here from Marblehead. 5 seconds left in the half.
68 yards.
And this is going to be an offside on North Attleboro, which gives you an interesting option here. Now you're shaking your head like you're going to kick it. Well, you can take the penalty, but you can still. And this is what we talked about, less than a minute. False start. So this is what we said, 42 seconds left in the half. Too much time for Josh Robertson, Marblehead. Come down and score.
Was that like a 60?
It was a
67 yards.
It was a long one.
Let's see, they're on the 25. They got 9. That's a 34.
Yeah, I understood there would be no math. That one good?
Feingold's kick
There we
is
go.
good, despite the penalty. So Robertson to Cronin as
Here it is. You can figure out the spot of the ball now. 27 yard line? So it's a 63-yarder.
73.
73, thank you. Like I said, no math, English major here.
So he fights for the ball.
Yep,
and
he fights for the ball.
And then after the catch, 1, 2, and he dives in
4
the-
doesn't really.
He doesn't make the effort. He doesn't make an attempt because he's blocked away.
Right.
73 yards, kick.
Didn't that change the momentum?
And it also is an emotional swing
Right.
as well. Takes the going into the locker room, and
we're going to get the ball in the second half. We can go up by 2 touchdowns, and we can put this game firmly in our control.
exciting.
Yes. Well, that's why these two teams are here, because they're really good, Chris.
Yep.
So I hate squib kicks in this situation. I hate them. Just kick it deep.
Well,
every time I see an NFL or a college team squib kick in this situation.
Deep, but not high. Coming to the near sideline, and clock has run out. That's the end of the first half.
Well done, Marblehead. I'm glad you kicked it deep.
They'll be happy to know.
I'm sure they're looking for my approval.
And that's the half, and now a message from the MIAA. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association is committed to good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, citizenship, and responsibility are the trademarks of high school activities. Support high school activities with your own display of good sportsmanship and help encourage America's youth to accept the responsibility which freedom demands. Support your local high school. See the future of America on display. Attend high school's competitions in your community. The score at the end of the half, tied at 14. We'll be back with the second half. You're watching MHS Sports on MHTV. Welcome back. Third quarter just about to get underway. An exciting finish to the first half with a 72-yard touchdown connection between Josh Robertson and Connor Cronin. The extra point after a penalty moved it back 5 yards was good by Eli Feingold, and Marblehead answers quickly to tie the score at 14-all at the end of the first half. And let's talk about some statistics in that first half, Gordon.
Well,
what
as
do
you
you
imagine,
see?
well, as you imagine, the statistics are pretty comparable. Marblehead with 177 total yards. North Attleboro with 173. North Attleboro's done a little more balanced with 84 rushing yards, 89 passing yards. Marblehead with 136 passing yards, as you said, most of it on that touchdown to Cronin. Cronin's caught 7 passes for 136 yards with that 72-yarder, the touchdown, and a couple of touchdowns. Robertson's 8 for 11, 136 with 2 TDs. Nobody really stands out for North Attleboro individually statistically, but they've had 4 different players catch at least 1 pass.
Mm-hmm.
So Frizzoli's moved the ball around a little bit. DiMattio's their leading rusher with 11 carries, 54 yards, and a couple of touchdowns.
Frizzoli's 5 for 6.
5 for 6. He has been efficient.
Yeah, emotionally, I think, and for the team, that touchdown.
It's monumental.
Yeah, it's hard to quantify how important that is.
It just emotionally, as you said, Chris, it picks up the whole team. Instead of going in down a touchdown and then you've got to come out and play defense in the second half.
Started the game at 3 o'clock, and it's moving on towards dusk now. The lights are shining, and Marblehead is a little slow getting out on the field as one of the officials is going over there and saying, "Let's go, guys." And
we've got a little bit of rain coming down too now, Chris.
North Attleboro is they're waiting, standing out on the field.
They're ready
waiting.
to go.
Now they're ready to go.
We got some motley crew going on too here.
Nice.
Yes. And the wind has picked up too a little bit. I don't think weather's going to be a factor, but it's not the gorgeous day that we had when we left Marblehead at 12:30 this afternoon.
Greg Motorney, a sophomore, is teeing it up at the far side. No hash marks on the field, so there's little lines there and on the numbered yard markers.
They scrubbed the Patriots logo too because they were expecting to have a soccer game here this weekend.
So Motorney about to step into it as The Rocketeers will receive, and this one's down to about the 6-yard line. Fumbled there and picked up, and the black jersey's closing in quickly, but along the sideline, that's the danger of a bobbled punt, a bobbled kickoff, a bobbled anything like that.
It throws off the timing of the coverage.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and you overrun the coverage. It was a good return. Bobbled there, and heading back up the field, that was
Gets a couple
Danny
of
Curran.
blocks, including a block on the back.
Good players make defenders miss tackles, and you can see it. Marblehead normally very, very sure in their tackling.
They did call the block on the back, by the way. That was it. We only had one 5-yard penalty on each team in the first half. So this is the first penalty of considerable distance, and they're marking it off from the spot, and it's half the distance to the goal line. So North Attleboro will be inside the, just outside the 10.
Ball's at the 11-yard line after the penalty. Bannon comes to the sideline for North Attleboro. I think it was Bannon. It might have, yeah, Tyler Bannon. Wide receiver split to the near side is Wells, covered by Galante. Motion coming near side. Handoff comes to the motion man. And we'll see how Marblehead reacts to what sort of adjustments they're going to make to reacting to the offense that they've seen from North Attleboro.
And now the rain's picked up a little bit here. I just said the weather wasn't going to be a factor. I'm like, oh, for everything tonight. Everything I say, the opposite comes true.
Well, at least you're consistent, so we know how to operate.
That's an important thing.
A gain of 4 on the play. And it's at the 25-yard line. No, excuse me, the 15-yard line. It'd be a nice time for a fumble. Play action fake. Looping it out down the sideline, and no contact, no foul.
Good coverage by Palmer again.
Yeah, he's having a very good game.
He's having a very good year, too. And he's a sophomore.
One of the leaders in the years to come.
Yeah. I mean, this team does have quite a few seniors, so somebody's going to have to step up next year. But they've also got some contributions from underclassmen.
3rd down and 6 at the 15-yard line. Passing down. Dangerous place to pass when you're inside the red zone for the other team. Play action fake for Zoli looking. Here comes a long one.
Everything's well covered.
Intercepted. What a play. Nice interception for Marblehead.
Liam McElroy.
McElroy he saw that one was possible and got into position. It wasn't right at him. He had to go get it, but you could just tell.
And he read the quarterback's eyes. There he is right down on the bottom of the screen. He's reading the quarterback's eyes. There he is, steps right in front of the receiver who's triple covered.
And luckily, George Percy didn't knock him down.
And a good return, too.
Yes, so an interception by Liam McElroy gives the Magicians 1st and 10 at the 20. Well, I said fumble, but it was nice. There's a screen pass to Percy. A lot of room. He's got a touchdown.
Untouched screen pass, and that's how you run a screen pass, folks. Perfectly executed. Get the ball to one of your best running backs, one of your best playmakers, right after the turnover. Keep the momentum going. You see, he slides out. He's got a good block right there. Good blocking downfield. I think that's Duty on the left-hand side. And he's untouched.
He really was.
And that's how you take the momentum right back. Perfect start for Marblehead.
Ooh. A big effort to block the kick, but it was the blocking effort was no good. Feingold's kick was good, and it's 21-14.
Feingold seems to have reached another level. I thought the confidence that he's been gaining all through the year, and obviously culminated with the Swampscott, with the kick over Swampscott. And here's the pick again.
Great play. McElroy saw that one coming and then went out and got it. There's a touchdown by Percy.
Yep. Look at
Here
this.
comes.
Slips right out. Who's 54? Really good block right there.
3 black jerseys and another one coming from the far side, and Percy untouched to the end zone.
Sam
a
Anisi.
20-yard touchdown.
Yep, Sam Anisi with that block that really kind of allowed the play to go from what would have been a decent play into a touchdown play. But going back to Feingold, something that we talked about on the ride up here.
Yeah.
It was after the Thanksgiving Day game, Sereno, that was quoted in the paper saying, "How come Marblehead always has a kicker? How come?"
That's the coach of.
Yeah, Sereno is the coach of Swampscott. He was complaining, Marblehead always has a kicker.
Why do you? It's a law, isn't it?
We have to. We grow them here.
Yeah. But it's true. I mean, they. Paquette was one several years ago.
They've always seemed to have a good, consistent kicker.
Tony steps into it, and that's a good kick all the way back to the 1. As a matter of fact, the receiver had to go into the end zone to start forward. And this is going to be bad field position.
Yeah, this is going to be inside the, just outside the 10 again.
They'll start at the 11-yard line, maybe the 12, forward progress.
Whatever has happened in the at the end of the second quarter and the start of the third quarter here has just elevated Marblehead here. They've just got a determined sense of purpose right now.
14 unanswered points for Marblehead and a 21-14 lead. They just got to figure out a way to stop DiMatteo from
this running back who doesn't want to go down.
And he is really a strong back. And he's, wait a minute, he's limping.
Limping off the field. I was talking to one of the North Attleboro folks, and he said, this Marblehead team hits so hard. He's like, I've never seen our backs come off the field just shaking things and working things out. He said, really, and this was just a guy who was filming the team. He said, this Marblehead team hits so hard. I'm like, they are very determined on defense.
Second down and about 5 or 6. Motion comes to the near side. McElroy puts pressure, and Frizzoli throws an errant pass to the near side. But Galante was there in coverage. I believe it was Galante. It might have been, yes, James Galante, number 19.
Yeah, it's a down and out. It's well covered. And you said the pass rush is there. There's McElroy coming from the right edge. He's untouched.
It almost blocked the quarterback's vision. Right. It's pressure, whether you're touching him or you're about to touch him or you're about to block somebody into him. It causes a disruption. Third down and 6. Try to go inside. They're not going to get it. They'll be faced with fourth down in a punting situation.
That's a big hold from Marblehead to get the ball right back here. Presuming that they're not going to go for it here, even on 4th and 1. Yeah, here comes the punting unit. But we had talked earlier, and here's the scrum in the middle. In Marblehead with its signature 6 or 7 players right around the ball. But we talked about inexperienced quarterbacks. We talked about Robertson being an experienced quarterback. And as good as this freshman has looked, he's still a freshman, and he doesn't have the experience, and he locks on a receiver, and that's what McElroy read when he saw that interception. He has to lock on to that one receiver. You just follow the quarterback's eyes, and you can read and make the pick.
I've really noticed Robertson this year looking away from his intended receiver. Short punt, bounces at about the 48. Galante has it, has a hole. Comes down the sideline, has Percy in front of him. Could go. No, headbutts and knocked out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. A tough customer, James Galante.
Well, this punt checked up for him perfectly. It was, as you said, Chris, it was a low line drive punt. Galante was able to field it on a hop. He saw he had an opening on the right-hand side. Here he comes. Gets a good block right there from McElroy. And as you said, he had Percy out in front of him. Yeah, Percy just and of course Galante doesn't go down again.
And so it's at the 21-yard line. They're going to throw it to the end zone here.
I would see what Duty's, if you can get Duty open here.
George Percy. Oh, wow, good run and a first down.
Yeah, he got bopped in the head pretty good right there. Yeah, it's just a real hard charging run here. It's a pitch. And this is winning the battle on the line of scrimmage. We talked about how North Attleboro was so big and strong up front, but Marblehead starting to maybe wear them down a little bit.
They sealed it. And just before Percy's cut up the sideline, the wall of black jerseys was sealing him off. So 1st and goal from the 9.
Yeah, Duty uncovered at in the slot. Now they put a man on him.
Cronin. Robertson scampers into the end zone from the 9.
Well read by Robertson. This is a run. This is another quarterback where a quarterback has to make the decision. It's going to be a run. It's not a straight quarterback draw. Here he is. He has an opportunity to go to Percy, makes the right read, and goes in untouched.
What he was reading was the defensive end on the left side.
Exactly, yep.
And it wasn't so much that he saw the hole to his right, but he saw that Percy...
He saw that nothing was going to happen on the left-hand side of the formation. Yeah,
right.
Oh, nice hold.
Good catch by Duty, the holder. A snap was a little bit behind him, but he made the good catch, and there's a penalty marker
here?
Down.
And in a span of about 4 minutes of game time here, this has gone from a 1 touchdown deficit to a 2 touchdown lead. I mean, we still have 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter here. I want to see what the flag is. It's a really good hold by Duty. You see he has to reach back across. Yeah, we're not going to see what the infraction is.
Did he wave it off? Or
no, he's still pointing. He's looking, he's talking to Marblehead, so I think they want to know if they want to take it on the kickoff.
The extra point's already happened.
The extra point's already good. I think it's a penalty on North Andover. The way he was talking to Marblehead sideline. I love it. We have these
all sorts of
officials that communicate.
Gadgetry and stuff.
Exactly.
So nice play by Robertson.
So Marblehead will kick off from the 45-yard line, presumably out of the end zone.
Might hit our car.
It's your car.
Well, we're both in it.
If he hits my car, it's going to be a good kick. My car's back in the driveway in Cedar Street.
So Marblehead to kick off from the across midfield at the North Attleboro 45-yard line, and this will go
right out
through the windows and up to the.
Now what's this? After a almost penalty-free first half, ball was what? Not in play when it was kicked?
So they're going to 5 yards back. They hadn't got a whistle.
Oh. False start.
That's how they always will like raise a hand to the official. I'm ready
right.
to kick.
Oh, no, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, they get the whistle.
Seems like it's probably due to some lazy refereeing, but I'm not going to say that.
I wouldn't. You know.
Okay, no, I don't want to get in
They'll
trouble.
call a penalty on the. All right, call an announcer. Illegal use of the mouth. So they step it back 5 yards to the 50, and nice look on the big screen here of Retorni. He bounces it down the field, bounces at the 10, taking it about the 5. Close to having his knee on the ground.
Yes, exactly.
I'd like to see that again.
Well, you know what? It's going to be inside the 10 again anyway.
And another player gets up limping. Number 4.
I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see that
Curran.
When he picks it up, because if his knee is down.
Should have been called. It looked to me like it might have been. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It should have been down on the 5.
Come on, Stripes.
With 14 eyes out there,
ball game.
All 7 officials. So it's 1st and 10 for North Attleboro, and another player limps to the sideline for the Red Rocketeers. 1st and 10 at the 11, just outside the 10. Wide receiver to the near side, that's Gavin Wells. Frizzoli. Handoff up the middle, and that's, I think it's DiMatteo.
Yeah, this is even though North Attleboro does not have a team that they're not going to hit you with quick strikes down the field, you want to get them off the field here. If you can get them off the field, get a 3-and-out, get the ball back right away, and threaten to score, and get the ball in good field position, you can really take command of this game right now. North Attleboro is reeling.
Gain of 4 on the play. Second down, 6 from the 15-yard line.
And the rain's let up a little bit, so not that it was really
That's one
pouring.
thing this season has lacked is good weather talk.
I'm usually good for good weather talk, too. Nice
Nice
tackle.
play by Galante. Gain of 2.
I remember once you criticized me once for focusing too much on the wind.
Who did?
You
Me?
did. Yes.
I criticized you?
Well, it was a windy night, and I mentioned the
was
wind.
it like
and you
with
said
malice and forethought?
there was a little bit of bitterness in your tone.
You know how I feel about wind.
Well, you know.
Don't offend the wind in front of me.
I might have been misrepresenting it a little bit, and I think you took offense at that.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Third
big
down
play
at
here.
3 at the 18, 19, 18-yard line. Here comes the pass. Complete and a first down.
That's a really nice catch, and it's something that North Attleboro really needed right there. Not a good throw.
Jack Munley.
Yep. There are 3 receivers on the right-hand side of the formation here. Munley comes out. I think he's at the tight end. Actually, it is a pretty good throw, but a better catch.
From the 17-yard line to the 33. First and 10 for North Attleboro out of that diamond formation. Gain of a couple, maybe a little bit more than a couple.
Even in the middle of all that mishmash there, they still seem to get like 3 or 4 yards anytime they want to. But again, this is not, they're taking their time. We're under 6 minutes here in the third quarter.
And they're still at the 37.
Right, 37-yard line. In order
on their
to,
side of the field.
In order to score, they're going to have to, they have to probably do better than 3 and 4 yard chunks here.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Single set back with Frizzoli. Frizzoli looks quickly. Again, looked right at the intended receiver. First look, and it's enough for a first down. As Nathan Schultz makes the catch, comes up limping.
Schultz getting up slowly again. See, quarterback's kind of a funky motion. It's not, it's like.
There's a little too much of it.
It's almost like Tebow-esque a little bit. He just sort of brings the ball back down a little bit too far.
Yeah. Wells comes to the near side. 3 backs with Frizzoli. First and 10 at the 45-yard line. Handoff inside. And another good blocking attack. And this DiMatteo, the ball carrier, and very slow to get up, and he's having a hard time getting up.
Staying in the game, to his credit.
Gain of 7 on the play. He took a hard hit, but as you notice here, not touched until he gets to the second level.
Again, this is, they're able to sort of control the line of scrimmage for 3 and 4 yards, but again, you're down 2 scores. Clock is ticking.
At the Marblehead 49-yard line.
That's a lot of momentum right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Good tackle by Galante. That's Michalowski.
You could say
I'm so confused. You know what? I've known Michalowski's father for 20 years, and I've been mispronouncing his name for that long, I think. Yeah, this is a good run right here. Good push by the offensive line, and a good tackle. Just call him Craig from now on. How's that sound?
All right.
All right.
Number 18, Craig.
Number 18, Craig.
Bobbled the ball a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't throw off the timing, though, did it?
DiMatteo, no.
Yeah.
(28-14), 3:30 clock moving, third quarter. As North Attleboro started back at their 11-yard line on this drive, and they're moving down the field well right now. They've got a second down and about 4 at the 34-yard line. Rizzoli hands off to Bannon. Bannon shaking tackles and has enough for a first down. Tyler Bannon and Tyler DiMatteo, the running backs for the Red Rocketeers. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Rizzoli, DiMatteo tries to get outside, but a nice tackle by Cronin.
Cronin, yeah.
Stops him for no gain, maybe a loss.
Cronin beat his man right there. And a rare event when DiMatteo goes down with just one guy tackling him. Yeah, look at Cronin just fights off the block.
So the Magicians take a timeout.
Interesting.
2:17 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Probably not a bad idea. Your defense has been on the field for a while, although most of these players play both ways. Just check and see what, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think the coaches along the sideline, the defensive coaches, take a look at what's happening. They can tell these guys need a little bit of a break. Let's call a timeout and stop them here if we can.
Well, and you want to be precise right here because you've got them. This is the first time I think on the drive where you've got them in a 2nd and long situation. They've been able to pick up 3 or 4 yards, and you want to get this team in a situation where it has to throw the ball because obviously what they're doing on the ground is they want to run it left, run it right, run it between the tackles. Get them in a passing situation where you can force the quarterback to make mistakes.
For a freshman quarterback, and you made the observation earlier, Rizzoli he's pretty good.
He's really good. This kid has got an impressive future. I mean, he's got a good arm. He's a big kid, runs the ball okay, makes good decisions most of the time, with the exception of the interception by McElroy. But I don't think he saw McElroy, to be honest with you. I just don't think he ever saw him.
That's part of what freshmen don't do.
Right.
That seniors
don't see the entire field.
Who have played for 3 years as a starter do, and it's looking off your defenders and not looking right at the intended receiver. Comes a pass down the sideline, and was it inbounds? It was inbounds.
They're going to mark it inbounds. Yeah, this is just a little wheel route coming out of the backfield.
Might be short of the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be short by a couple of yards. Yeah, you'll see the receiver come out right here down at the bottom of the screen. It's a safe throw. You think he was out of bounds?
He definitely came down with 1 foot out of bounds. But hey, what are you going to do? So it's 3rd down and a yard at the 17.
DiMatteo, yeah.
It's almost impossible. If you let them get this far down the field, it's almost impossible. DiMatteo's not getting up.
No, it's the lineman.
DiMatteo?
No, I think
lineman.
it's
72.
Yeah, that big lineman who's been so impressive all day today.
Basher,
yeah.
Oh, it's DiMatteo lands on the back of his legs.
Oh, we got rolled up on?
Yep.
Oh, that hurts. As you know from once you hurt an ankle, once you twit,
yes.
It
stays with you the rest
for
of your life.
For the rest of your life, yeah. Turn an ankle in basketball in
Take it off, Doc.
In 1996, and it's still hurting me now. I still have to tape it.
So it's a 1st and 10 as they. This could be. That's the type of play that results in sometimes a serious injury.
Well, we hope the young man isn't injured seriously for sure, but. And he's a big part of their running game too. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Yeah, he's been a factor on both sides of the ball too.
Jared Vasher, is that his name?
Yeah.
72. Yeah, Jared Vasher,
one of the
captains.
Yeah.
Senior 6'2", 230, offensive tackle and defensive end.
He looks bigger than that. He does.
They always do.
I know.
So it's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Bannon gets the call,
Yeah.
breaks tackles, gets down to the 5. He's just short of a first down.
Nice athletic play by the quarterback. The snap was a little high and outside. Did a nice job to catch it, and then he was able to hand off the ball. Let's see.
They're quick when it comes to the getting by defenders.
Right.
They don't slow down and try to think if they just go by them, which is the sign of a good runner. Again, Bannon on his feet into the end zone. 5-yard TD. Narrows it to 28-20 right now with an extra point coming. That drive lasted a long time and went 89 yards.
Yeah, and Marblehead had an opportunity early in the drive to get them off the field, but they just kept picking up those 3- and 4-yard chunks.
14 plays.
It's a big extra point.
No good.
Missed it.
Penalty marker down. Oh, roughing the kicker?
I think we're going to get roughing the kicker, yeah. Running into the kicker. And really, at this stage, running into the kicker and roughing the kicker
makes
no
difference, really.
Oh, I don't know. It was wide left, wasn't it?
Yes, it was to the near side.
And we pointed out that the goalposts are 6 feet narrower than they are in high school.
Yes. No, we haven't pointed that out, but we get it in there.
We did.
So they'll have another shot at it. And as you said, a crucial extra point, because they're down by 8 right now, 28-20. And Marblehead was really trying to block that extra point, and here they come again.
High snap. This one's good.
So the second time around kick is good, and it makes it 28-21 with 1:20 to go here in the third quarter. It's an exciting game. It's going to be an exciting finish.
North Attleboro had to have a touchdown on that drive. They could not come away with a touchdown on that.
89 yards and 14 plays.
It's a good drive. That's it. I mean, that's their bread and butter right there.
And one of the captains, Tyler Bannon, made the 5-yard touchdown run.
You know, DiMatteo gets a lot of, rightly so, he gets a lot of the attention. But the other running back here, Bannon, has been really impressive. Just like Marblehead, they've got two guys who can carry the ball capably. So obviously Marblehead will be looking for some sort of response similar to this, a nice time-consuming drive where they go right down the field.
Back deep are George Percy to the near side and Connor Cronin to the far side. Comes the kick, and it's going to be Cronin taking it at the 6. Comes up the field, there's blocking in front of him, cuts inside, dances around, gets to about the 30, and a penalty marker is down.
And we're going to get a block on the back on Marblehead. Block on the back or a hold. Who's down by the numbers.
So let's see.
Well, the spot of the foul is really right, probably where the tackle was made, so. 14. Yeah, there it is right there.
Was this right here?
It was about at the 25-yard line.
It was Keogh. I think number 14 is the one that they called. I didn't really.
Just sort of flashed on the screen.
Hard to tell if that was really it or not.
Screen pass.
Percy twists and turns, stays on his feet, gets out to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, this is like the 3rd or 4th screen they've run to Percy. It's a great move. It's a good way of slowing down North Attleboro's rush, their pass rush. And here it is. You see Percy just leaks out of the back. He's got a couple of blockers in front of him. Nice tackle there by number 44. Who was that? Greg Berthum.
Second down and 2 from the 25-yard line.
Fake
throw.
toss.
Robertson has a man. It's Cronin. Cronin grabs it, bounces off the defender, squirts past another one, and gets out to the 45-yard line.
Oh. Another big play for Cronin. He's been the man that they've gone to today in the receiving game. He's down at the bottom of the formation here. They faked the toss. Here's the fake toss. Zips it right in there between the two defenders. Great throw by Robertson.
A 30-yard gain from the 25 to the 45.
He's going to be approaching 200 yards in receiving. We're going to go at the end of the quarter here, Chris.
That's the end of the third quarter. Now a message from the MIAA. High school sports provide an extension of the classroom where students learn to pursue excellence, the value of working with others toward a common goal, playing within the structure of established rules, discipline, loyalty, and emotional control. The MIAA urges you to demonstrate your support for these values and for our young people by attending high school competitions in your community. The score at the end of 3, Marblehead is up by 7, 28-21. Stay with us.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Fourth quarter just about to start. Marblehead has the ball. The rain has come back. And a good 30-yard gain on that last play of the third quarter from Robertson to Cronin, and Cronin moved it from the 25 all the way across midfield to the 45-yard line of North Attleboro. And now, it's a question of, this has been a difficult game. They're on a TV timeout. There's a guy standing on the field down here on the right. You probably can't see him, and he's letting everyone know when the commercial is going to be over.
Fist in the air, and we have a towel over the ball, too, for the first time.
Yeah.
There
Okay, now we're ready for action.
Did it just get darker in here? They turn the lights off? Did the Crafts forget to pay the bill?
I don't know.
Oh.
Here comes motion to the near side. Handoff up the middle. Percy breaks tackles, shaking, and stretches it to the 40 for a nice 5-yard gain.
Yeah, that should have been a 1-yard loss. Instead, Percy's determination turns it into a 5-yard gain.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Don't let the defense get set. That's what Marblehead does. Second down, 5. Now Robertson moves up to the line of scrimmage, and they get the play from the sideline. Percy moves to the left. 2 receivers both sides. Robertson, 2-step drop out of the shotgun, gives it back to Cronin. No, it's Michalowski, as Michalowski's dropped for a loss on the play.
Nice play by DiMatteo there to read that and disrupt the play. This is that inside screen that we see. Michalowski takes 2 steps across the line of scrimmage, comes back, and DiMatteo gets to the ball carrier before the blocker can get to DiMatteo. Nice play.
Third down, 6, maybe 7. Cronin comes in motion. Play action fake. Robertson's going to get dropped in the backfield. Tackle made by number 44, Gary Bethune.
Yeah, that's the second big play he's made in this drive.
Loss of
there's the
4 on the play.
Fate to Percy. 3 players from North Attleboro in the
This is a risky decision here. You give them the ball. If you don't make 10 yards on this play.
They're going for it?
They are going for it.
My.
4th and 10.
Okay.
I've seen quick kicks.
Yes, Robertson is kicked out of this formation for sure. They're going for it.
Pass over the middle. Cronin's got it. First down.
Oh!
And a fumble?
I don't know if it's a fumble or an incomplete pass. Either way, actually the fumble is probably a better result. Well,
let's take a look at it.
he caught the ball. They're going to talk this over. All right. Here's a throw.
Was he down?
Does he catch it? Oh, he certainly catches it. Does he make a football move or is it slapped away? It's an incomplete pass. Wow, a little bit of a break from Marblehead. Yeah, I think that's an incomplete pass, but you know what?
It's going to be
North
North Attleboro's ball. Fumble.
That's the first turnover of the game, isn't it?
Interception.
Oh, the interception, right.
North Attleboro, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line.
DiMatteo fell over his own guy that time. And they're starting to run. I mean, a lot of the running they did on the left was to the left-hand side. Ever since that the tackle went out of the game, but he's
72.
Yeah, but he's back in the game.
Vasher.
Never mind.
So they're at the 35-yard line. Marblehead leads it by 7 with 9:30 to go. 28-21.
Yeah. So Marblehead selling out for the run right here. I think it's McElroy coming up from the bottom of the pile here, and Nisi maybe. Adriano in the middle of it, as usual. Yep. Yeah, Adriano makes the play right there. Nice play, fighting off the block.
I feel like somebody was grabbing for the ball. Might have been McElroy.
Turnover would be nice here. That'd help.
Very nice.
Yeah.
3rd down and 8.
This is the biggest play of the game so far.
Pitch to the near side.
Strung out. Nope, he doesn't get it.
Nice play and a loss or no gain. No gain.
Palmer again. 3rd big tackle right there. Now do you go for it? Yeah, Palmer, no gain. It's 4th and 7 here. Now this is just strung out, and when they've tried to run wide today, look at this tackle right there. Look at that. When they've tried to run wide today, they have not had as much success as when they've gone between the tackles or just outside the tackles. Marblehead's just too fast for that.
Andy Palmer, a sophomore, he's having his game of the year.
This is a good time to have the game of the year because it's the biggest game of the year. And North Attleboro is going to go for it here.
Well, what about next week?
Next week you can rest.
4th down and 7
yep.
From the 36-yard line. A timeout will be taken by North
Attleboro.
Thank you. North.
7:55 left. So this is the equivalent of pushing all your chips in on the middle, isn't it?
Yes.
Because if you do not get it here, you leave Marblehead with the ball in plus territory.
So from North Attleboro's perspective right now, and also from Marblehead's, what will you be expecting from them? I think that their best bet is to go to the air, to throw the ball, because it's at least 7.5 yards for a 1st down.
But you've been able to, when you've been running between the tackles or off tackle, you've been able to make that up. Maybe that's
true, but it's a 4th down and the ball's at the 36-yard line. If you give it to Marblehead at the 36-yard line, the odds are that they're going to be able
to at least take some time off the clock.
Take a lot of time off the clock.
Probably score.
And probably score.
So they're going to go in that diamond formation with the one wide receiver down here in the
to the near side.
Yeah, with Palmer on him.
And that's what they're hoping for, that they're going to make Marblehead think they're going to run and then throw the pass.
Nope.
Motion to the outside. Play action fake. The quarterback looks down the middle. It's complete along the sideline. They get the 1st down.
It's a nice route here that number 10 runs here.
Gavin Wells.
Yep, he breaks down the field. He's on the bottom of the formation. He makes it look like he's going to go inside, does a double move outside, and beats the coverage.
Yeah, you're right about the quarterback's throwing motion.
It's a little deliberate.
All the way down to the 44-yard line, but championship teams have to make championship plays. One of those running backs is off a half a second fast.
It's been going on Well, not the whole game, but enough so it's been noticeable.
Gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah,
Second and 6. DiMatteo is the ball carrier.
Yeah, this is their game right here, right between the tackles. Give it to DiMatteo.
That was a very big 4th down play for the Rocketeers. A big gain along the sideline. It was 4th and long. In the neutral zone, it'll be a 5-yard penalty, make it 2nd and short.
Yeah, it's a
big play is required.
Inches, yeah. Now you feel you almost need like a turnover or something like this, or a.
That's exactly what I feel.
Okay, it's not just me then.
No. 2nd down and 1 from the 30. It's inside the 35. We'll call it the 34, but it's almost on the 35. They have a 1st down and more. Bannon, the ball carrier.
Yeah, he's been an exceptional option B today.
Gain of 8 on the play. And a 1st down.
Yeah, good blocking up front here.
At the 26-yard line. DiMatteo tries to get to the outside. Galante runs him out of bounds.
Yeah.
After a short gain.
Marblehead Marblehead had it bottled up. They had this was going to be a run to the left tackle side. Marblehead has it bottled up. He bounces it outside. Good block there on Cronin. And Galante has enough speed to nudge him out of bounds, but not after a gain of 5. Again, another North Attleboro player coming off the field limping. This time it's number 27, Aiden Conrad.
2nd and 5 from the 21-yard line, right up the middle for a big gain and a 1st down. Bannon, the ball carrier. Somebody down from Marblehead.
I don't want to speculate who it is. It looks like, yeah, it's Galante.
It's Galante.
Yeah.
Coach Redloff is patting him on the back. He looks okay, though. He's walking briskly on his own power. So, are they going to run at Galante's position now? It's inside the 15-yard line at the 14. Frizzoli calling signals. Bannon gets the call. Bannon breaks a tackle, pushes forward, gets down to about the 10.
And time not a factor here. We're inside 6 minutes right now. We're about to go inside 6 minutes.
Second and 6 from the 10-yard line. Frizzoli in the gun. Gives it to
DiMatteo.
Yep. DiMatteo bangs heads with Marblehead's number 55.
Pacheco,
yeah. Gain of 3 on the play.
There it is, DiMatteo just up the middle. Makes one guy miss and knocks another guy backwards.
And it's 3rd down and 2 at the 6-yard line. Galante back in the lineup. Hit at about the, Pacheco hits him at about the 3. Looks like it'll be.
No, he's got the 1st down. Again, that little half beat where the North Attleboro One of North Attleboro's backs jumps the snap count again.
At the 3-yard line, 1st and goal.
Yeah, nice tackle, but not after until he by Pacheco, but not until after he got in the 1st down.
First and goal. DiMatteo plows into the end zone.
Do you think about going for 2 here?
I wouldn't think very long about it.
Well, I mean, you don't have the most reliable kicker.
Yeah.
You've got the defense on their heels. Of course, if you go for 2 and don't get it, and then you're regretting it for the rest of your life. But
yeah, if it's an extra point kick and it's missed, it's not. I think the right call is to go for the extra point.
I think the kick is too. I think you kick, but well, it's good. So as we said, plenty of time. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. They scored with less than a minute. Marblehead scored with less than a minute at the end of the 1st half.
Well, just like in the 1st half.
Yeah, momentum going back and forth.
Back and forth and back and forth. What it tells you is that these teams deserve to be here.
Right. It's always I was just going to think that these are the 2 best teams in Division III. 2 of the best public school teams in the state.
So it began all the way back at the 33-yard line. So 67-yard drive. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At least 12 plays. I might have missed one there. 67 yards and 12 plays, and they score with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the football game, and tie it up with the extra point by touchdown by DiMatteo, and the extra point kicked by DiMatteo. And guess who's going to kick off? Tyler DiMatteo. Back deep. George Percy to the far side, Connor Cronin to the near side. We got 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in this Division III championship football game from Gillette Stadium. Percy picks it up at about the 3, cuts to the outside, then he gets pushed back, stays on his feet, cuts back inside, giving yardage, and finally dropped at about the 13-yard line. There's a little bit of confusion between the two.
That ball took a funny hop. It went to the left-hand side. It looked like initially Cronin was going to field it, but it took a left turn. And once Percy picked it up, the coverage was already downfield. Here it is. Looks like Cronin's going to get it, and it takes a left turn, and then it takes another left turn.
The initial hit pushed him back, and then he started to make forward progress again and finally gets dropped. 1st and 10 at Cronin gets the call. I haven't seen a lot of Cronin running from all today.
We have not. It's been mostly Percy and Robertson today.
Yep.
He's been more of a weapon out of the backfield, and they really haven't. North Attleboro's done a nice job of containing Duty today. They've obviously watched film, and they know that he's the guy they go to. And
gain of 3 by Cronin, 2nd down 7. About the 18-yard line, pass to the sideline. Oh, off the hands of the intended receiver. Is that Duty?
I'm not sure Duty was the intended receiver. I think Michalowski might have been the intended receiver. I want to see that replay because, I think it was intended for Michalowski.
And see, you can see Michalowski.
Demonstrative, yeah.
3 receivers to the near side, 3rd and 7.
Blitz.
Pass, Cronin.
He's got some room.
He's got a lot of room. He's got a blocker in front of him. He could go all the way. He's got the speed. He's across the 30, the 25, the 20. He's got a touchdown. Amazing.
That's what happens when you sell out for the blitz. They brought 3 blitzers, 1 man-to-man coverage. Robertson was able to get rid of the ball quickly. He read it perfectly and got it to Cronin. And Cronin again makes another tremendously huge play. Here it is.
82 yards.
It's just a bubble screen. Robertson gets rid of it. Look at all the blitzers. And now once he gets here, He's got one man in front of him, and look at Kehoe with a block.
The thing about Cronin, and same with his brother Tim, is that they have everything a running back needs. They have great vision, great decision making,
speed,
great speed, and great strength.
The speed helps. Big
and
extra point here.
Speed right there.
Big extra point.
Eli Feingold gets the kick up and
good.
Good.
Yep. Good hold by Duty. Again.
That was nearly a disaster.
So 3 minutes, 22 seconds left. North Attleboro certainly capable on offense, but a huge play. Here it is again. Look at it. Look how quickly Robertson gets rid of it. Good block right there. And look at Kehoe.
Fitzgerald was all the way down the
field. Fitzgerald is all the way down the field.
And a running back
yep.
outrunning the defensive back right into the end zone for the touchdown.
Talk about having the game of your life.
Wow. 35-28. With 3 minutes and 22 seconds. This possession started with 4:20. So in less than a minute.
They scored too quickly.
58 seconds they scored.
You got to work on that.
It's
the second time they've had a long passing play on a drive that's lasted less than a minute. Oh, this has been a great game, hasn't it?
It's been a lot of fun.
This has been terrific.
An 82-yard, I think it was 82 yards.
When they were backed up, it was like, what, 3rd and 7?
Yeah, at about the 18, might have been a little bit more than 82. But anyway, over 80, and it was a great quick pass by Robertson. And
that was a great call, too.
Blocking. Down to about the 8-yard line on the kick. Stop him here and make him use that clock.
North Attleboro with 2 timeouts left. Each team has called a timeout. So the clock, you can run your normal offense here. Good kickoff coverage here. Good kickoff, too. And Cronin with the tackle, too. He's in on the tackle. Yeah, I don't think if you're North Attleboro, you have to panic at all here.
3:16 on the clock. Their last touchdown drive took about 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they're just and they're content to get these 5- and 6-yard plays. DiMatteo getting up slowly again.
He's really taken a beating today, because he's been the workhorse. He's done everything. 2nd down and about 4. Hand off to Bannon. Bannon is going to be stopped short of the 1st down.
Galante is back in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
As you expected he would have been.
Oh, he was back in the.
I know.
He was out for one play,
I know.
But then he
came back in, but just.
The recuperative power of a 17-year-old.
No kidding. A little different when you get to our age.
3rd down and about 2, a long 2 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to run this. Oh. Nope,
looking
pass.
to throw. And great defensive play. Palmer again.
Palmer times it perfectly. The throw, good throw. The receiver was open. Palmer with the closing speed breaks it up. Perfectly timed. If he gets there a half a heartbeat earlier, it's pass interference. Really good play right there. And this is a ball game, folks.
I thought for a moment that he was, because the quarterback, a freshman for North Attleboro, looks at his intended target right away.
Right, yeah, he just locks on.
So you know where he's going to go with it. Once he gets over that, he's going to be very, very effective. But I was thinking for a moment that this might be an interception. 4th down and 2. Quarterback draw. And he's got it.
Oh, he does have it. I don't know. The official coming right down no, they're signaling 1st down.
Yeah.
Is that the first time he's run the ball all day?
I think so.
Wow, he just barely made it.
He needs about 2 passes.
Percy.
Yeah, he's got it. He took a shot, though.
He did take a shot.
From
Percy, yeah, of course. But we're under 2 minutes here.
The clock is rolling.
Clock has been rolling this whole time. I mean, they stopped it so they could reset the down markers, but we're under 2 minutes.
They're going to have to throw long.
At some point, they're going to have to put it up.
They got 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the
Here
near side. Straight drop. Here's a ball in the air and out of bounds as Palmer plays it perfectly.
Yep.
He didn't commit the foul, and it was an uncatchable ball. And the intended receiver was Gavin Wells, and it stops the clock with a 2nd and 10.
When they need a passing play, long passing play, Wells seems to be their guy. Yeah, it's just really good coverage, and it was an uncatchable ball anyway.
Along with Mundley, 84. Mundley's been very good.
He made that nice catch where he had to jump up and catch it, and it was like 3rd and 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 receivers to the far side. Rizzoli, play action fake.
Screen
now
pass.
Looking,
yep.
Throws it into the dirt. Stops the clock.
Now that was Samanisi right there. Read it perfectly. He knew it was going to be a screen pass.
Saw it coming.
Yep. Watch number 54. He's on the right side of the.
Here it comes.
Yep. Watch. Keep your eye on number 54. He reads screen, stays with DiMatteo, and the quarterback has no other option but to throw it in the dirt.
Nice call on that one, Gordon. It was Anisi that really blew that play up.
Disrupted the play, yeah.
And the quarterback, Rizzoli, made the right decision.
He really did. Instead of trying to force it in there and do something stupid and turn the ball over.
And a quick decision. We're down to 1:30. It's 3rd down and long. Rizzoli looking to throw. Under pressure
Fitzgerald.
now. And Fitzgerald gets him. A sack.
Great effort by Fitzgerald here. Watch this. Watch on the replay. Watch how he just beats his man with just pure strength.
Number 55.
Yep, bottom of the formation. Here he comes. Look at him just force his man.
77 is what I meant for Fitzgerald. He just did a fantastic job on that.
Yes, he's been terrific all year, Chris.
A timeout taken with 1:21.
1:21,
more importantly, it's 4th and 12. Maybe even longer, 4th and 13, 4th and 12 anyway.
So with 1 timeout for North Attleboro, it comes down to this. For a state championship, would be Marblehead's first.
What a great game, Palmer. It's terrific to see great players like
he's a sophomore,
like Cronin,
yes,
and Robertson, and Percy and Fitzgerald, the guys that have been doing it all year. But it's also fun to watch the development of a player like Andy Palmer.
Yep.
And Palmer's got a lot of playing time this year, and in this game, he turned the corner.
And they've put a lot of responsibility on him all year long. He's been out there covering a wide receiver, and they know he's a sophomore, and they're going to go to him, and he's been up to the task, especially today.
Especially on the big stage.
Well, let's look for it right here, because they're going to go to this number 10.
4th down, 12. Under pressure, the quarterback is going to get loose, fires it, intercepted by Cronin.
Who else? And it would have been right near the 1st down marker. It was a desperate throw. Quarterback knew he needed to pick up 13 yards. It's right at the marker. Here he's flush from the pocket. Good blitz by Anisi here. Pacheco almost gets him. And Percy forces a quick throw, and it's been Connor Cronin. No doubt who the player of the game is today.
Yep.
Still got some time to kill here. We got 1:13 left, and North Attleboro's got a timeout.
Victory formation.
Victory formation.
It's great to do in a championship game. Robertson takes the knee.
Yep.
Will North Attleboro?
They'll take their timeout.
They have one more.
Yep.
They do.
North Attleboro hoping for some sort of disaster. And here's the. Well, we have 2 screens here. We have the overhead feed, and they're showing Cronin's play of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Ryan's got it up.
It's amazing that he came back to the
winning touchdown right here. Look at Fitzgerald looking for somebody to block.
And Keogh made it.
Keogh, that's not a touchdown without Keogh's block.
Exactly. And then
what
Cronin comes back with the interception.
Yep, what a terrific game young man's had. Happy for these kids.
Certainly enough scoring in this game.
Yep.
35-28 at this point. There's a minute 9 left with the clock stopped. And Marblehead has a second down, and they're in victory formation, so they should be able to.
2 more snaps.
2 more snaps, and
Yep.
that's all they need.
North Attleboro can't stop the clock.
So the clock continues to roll now, as it's just a matter of time. They'll have to take 1 more snap before.
What a terrific football game. Just phenomenal.
12-0, state champions.
State champions, Division III state champions for the first time in the Super Bowl era.
It's another feather in Jim Rudloff's cap.
This is, yeah.
And another feather in the Marblehead football program that's been the most dominant program, maybe north of Boston.
For the past decade, yep, without a doubt.
It's been about 13 years now that I think that Rudloff has been at the helm.
And there they are.
That's it.
Yep.
Down to 30 seconds. They don't need to snap the ball again. The players storm onto the field and celebrate a state championship. A perfect 12-0 season ends the perfect way in victory formation at midfield at Gillette.
What a terrific game. Both teams. Both teams.
It's a great learning experience for the kids when they have to go through all the hardship and struggle and work that they have to do to get this.
Well, and
then to be able to celebrate a victory. I saw Christian Pacheco and Sam Anisi, 55 and 54.
And there's a tremendous amount of pressure on you when you're the #1 seed and everybody expects you to do this. And you put forth the effort and you do this anyway. Really happy for these kids, especially the seniors.
And North Attleboro was a very worthy opponent. And they were a tough team to beat, but Marblehead found a way to do it. And that's the football game. Marblehead wins it 35-28. And here's a final message from the MIA. Is there a student athlete in your school that deserves recognition? Someone who is constantly representing your school as a good citizen and should be acknowledged. Now's your chance to nominate a student athlete for the MIAA Student Athlete of the Month Award. This award is presented monthly to 1 male and 1 female student athlete who displays excellence in the area of academics, athletics, and community service. Students in grades 9 through 12 who attend MIAA member schools are eligible to receive the award. Visit the MIAA website at miaa.net to nominate a student athlete today. We'd like to thank the MHTV sports crew for their help with today's game. Producer, camera, operator John Caswell, Steve Clay, director, and replay by Ryan Clay, as well as my announcing partner Gordon Vincent. A terrific game, Gordon. Thank you very much as always. Once again, the final score, state champion Marblehead Magicians 35 and North Attleboro 28. For all of us here at MHTV Sports, I'm Chris Conley. Thanks for watching. See you next year.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to present the Division III State Championship Aganis Trophy to Marblehead High School. For 1 second, we're going to get a team photo, so let a couple of photos quick. North Attleboro, thank you very much. Thank you for a wonderful season. Let's get the whole team in front. The whole team